horse race for our World Drivers' Championship tonight. The other 4 heats will be staged over the 2,200 metres. Nicely on gates, green light Dunstan Horse Feeds, WDC 25, heat 6 underway. Captain Secret and James McDonald from Canada straight to the early lead. Bruntwood Brigade up on the outside. See Your Mate will ease and get the run behind its stablemate there, followed by Mandala. Back on the inside then to New Kid in Town, got a nice run through from the second line, and they're followed by Debrief. Out wider on the track as they sweep across the top there was Orlet's, been restrained towards the tail end of the field here now was Sky's Legacy. Making ground through on the inside was Reet Petite, and back towards the tail end of the field there was another Collect. So they work through the home straight. Time's not coming up on the board for us here, and coming around to a lead again now will be Captain Secret. So Captain Secret to lead, Bruntwood Brigade and Brett Beckworth out of the USA, and then came Germany's Michael Nimchek, See Your Mate third. Fourth is the Kiwi Mandala with Blair Orange up on the outside, then to Matt's Juice from Sweden with New Kid in Town. Gary Hall Jr., Reet Petite on the inside. Then came Debrief and Jaap van Ruin. That's in the 1-1, back over on the inside there. So they work into the back. Sky's Legacy for Finland. Santu Ritala just getting past that as they pace through the back straight there now. Was another Collect for France's Pierre Vacruz. And back of the tail was Orlet's and Italy's Giampaolo Minucci as they get down to the end of the back straight now. And it is the Maple Leaf in front here with Captain Secret leading by a length and a quarter. Bruntwood Brigade moving around the outside now was Debrief for Jaap van Rain. It's moved to third as they get around to the final 300 metres. Waiting for space on the inside was See Your Mate, and also looking to run into the race there now as they come to the corner was another Collect as they turn for home here though, and Captain Secret leads away by 2. Bruntwood Brigade's on the outside making ground on the TFS Horse Transport passing lane. It's See Your Mate, it's Canada, USA and Germany in play for the first heat, but Captain Secret and J-Mac. Captain Secret, James McDonald, the Maple Leaf to get the first. Germany for second with See Your Mate and Michael Nimchek, and third for the USA's Brent Beckworth. We got photos for fourth. We had another Collect back on the inside, Mandala, and making good ground late was Orlet's back on the inside, then to Reet Petite for the back in the field, then to Debrief. They were followed back by Sky's Legacy and New Kid in Town to be one of the last. Captain Secret, we mentioned it at the top of the day. James McDonald out of Canada. He's got a very good book of drives here tonight. He can make a real good impression into the WDC 25 with his 5 drives, and he's made the first one a winner. Around they come, 2,200 metres, heat 7, Thames Harness Racing Club World Drivers' Championship. Green lights, we're off and trotting. Coming out strongly here was Viscount McKendon, and the race favourite with Finnish driver Santu Ritala straight to the early lead. Brienne and Matt's Deuce on the inside, and coming forward Tinkerbell for Giampaolo Minucci. And to take early 1-1 cover here, Pierre Vacruz and Happy Hill as they make the turn out of the home straight. Back on the inside to Kenny Hill and Australia's Gary Hall Jr. Then came Crazy in the Netherlands. Jaap van Rain is the next in the Tangerine, being tracked up by Trifolium and Canada's James McDonald. Underneath that as they get into the back was Bangkok Betty there for Germany's Michael Nimchek, and getting things wrong in the early stages of the race to be detached by some 6 lengths here was It Muscle Be Love for US of A's Brett Beckworth with the lead up time here in 43.6, and at the end of the back straight Viscount McKendon leads Tinkerbell, in the trail is Brienne. 1-1 then to Happy Hill with 1,400 to go. Back 3 back on the pegs here to Kenny Hill, being covered up then by Crazy. Back 4 back on the pegs to Bangkok Betty. To its outside in the running line was Trifolium, and then came It Muscle Be Love as they trot into the home straight with a lap and a quarter left to go. The Thames Harness Racing Club WDC 25 heat 7, and the second quarter 32-4. So work down to the Judge Bell and 1 to go, and Viscount McKendon looking to take them all the way. Tinkerbell's pressuring hard on the outside as they get the bell. Back on the inside, Brienne's had a beautiful run, and in the the 1-1 then to the next Happy Hill. 3 back on the inside was Kenny Hill. They're followed then by Crazy. Further back and buried on the inside to Bangkok Betty. They're followed then by the next Trifolium and James McDonald, who actually took the lead going into this heat after his win in the previous, and back last to the winning chances. The inside at Muscle Be Love with the second quarter there in 30.7. So through the back they go, and zooming up on the outside is Crazy, and Jaap van Rijn are back on the inside to look at defended off Viscount McKendon for Santu Ritala. They open up by 4. Brienne and Matt's Deuce up over on the outside. Then as they come off the back, Gary Hall Jr.'s managed to negotiate away from the pegs here with Kenny Hill with the back straight quarter in 29.5, and looking to run the race out Trifolium and James McDonald for Canada. Onto the turn though, and Viscount McKendon, Santu Ritala, Fuller running top of the home straight, leads by 2. Crazy joining in Kenny Hill and Gary Hall Jr. back on the inside to Brienne. Down the outside here comes Trifolium looking to get over the top of them too. Brienne through on the inside has come through strongly on the TFS Horse Transport passing lane, and Matt's Deuce Sweden will get the win. Second Viscount McKendon for Finland's Santu Ritala, and Germany's Michael Nimchek took a marker's run for a third here with Bangkok Betty. They were followed then by Kenny Hill, and up on the outside of that Trifolium for the back of the field to Crazy. They were followed in by It Muscle Be Love, and the 2 out the back here we had Happy Hill, and back with that was Tinkerbell. Around 2:47 the time. Home in 60.3 and 30.8. Matt Deuce out of Sweden. He'll get the prize here, take the maximum 16 points in this heat.
We see just runner going a bit rough in there behind in the score. It will get you on track for the call.
Thank you, Nicole, as these runners work into the home straight, 2,200 metres. The AK Kevin Holmes Memorial, WDC 25, heat number 8, and they're underway. The green light flashing, and Mick Constantine off the inside with great gate speed to hold up the early lead. Arden's Memory looking to come forward, and they're followed by Margarita getting the nice run through from the second line, Benjamin Button. They're followed by Barbarossa back on the inside, then dropping down to the peg line there was Potter as they make that first turn. Further back in the field then to Dixieland Delight. There followed then, well back was King's Watch. Underneath that was Waltzing with Mickey, and back towards the tail end of the field upstage. So into the back, Mick Constantine and Canada's James McDonald will take them through the back, leading by a length. Up on the outside, Matt's Deuce, who took his first heat win in the last heat on the card, with Margarita second, and Park with a lead-up time here in 41.2. Enjoying the nice run on the trail is Benjamin Button. Michael Nimchek from Germany, he's been steadily scoring nice points through each heat. And 3 back on the inside, Potter for the USA's Brett Beckwith. Up on the outside to Jaap van Rijn with Barbarossa, currently beautifully situated in the 1-1. Dixieland Delight and Santu Ritala, 4 back on the inside. King's Watch and Blair Orange, the next combination. Back and buried on the inside then as they come through the straight. There was Waltzing with Mickey and Pierre Vacruz for France, and well back in the field then to Australia's Gary Hall Jr. with upstage with the opening quarter in 30.6, and now taken all the way back to last was Arden's Memory and Italy's Giampaolo Minucci. They're on their homeward lap, and Mick Constantine Fuller running leads away by a length and a half from Benjamin Button. Up on the outside then to Margarita as they get to the 800 metre mark. Back on the inside to Potter, the second quarter in 29.7. Into the back they go. Barbarossa starting to make his move out 3 wide. Onto his back goes King's Watch. In turn out there was upstage. Back on the inside, just losing ground there, Benjamin Button. Further back in the field then to Arden's Memory, looking to pick a path through runners. Further away Waltzing with Mickey, and taken all the way back to last was Dixieland Delight, but off and gone here is Mick Constantine around to the final 400 metres. The back straight quarter in 28.9. James McDonald in Blissful Isolation. In second is the Kiwi in Blair Orange with King's Watch, and up on the outside Australian Gary Hall Jr. upstage, but at this stage they're being upstaged by the Maple Leaf. Canada's James Mack, and he's still 4-5 in front. Mick Constantine, he's been low flying throughout, and James McDonald from Canada, he's going to extend his lead in the WDC for 20 25 with 2 successes tonight. Gary Hall Jr. second upstage, and third over was King's Watch and Blair Orange. They were followed in then by Working Home Well was Waltzing with Mickey, Pierre Cruz, and they were followed then by Arden's Memory. Back on the inside to Dixieland Delight, well back in the field to Barbara Rossa, Margarita. Back with those then was Potter, and out the back then we had Benjamin Button. So the runners work around, and they've got 2,200 metres in front of them, 2 1/4 laps here out of Cambridge Raceway in the Waikato. World Drivers' Championship Heat 9, IRT Your Horse Our Passion. Set, ready, green light. And they're off and trotting and coming out nicely. Eagle Hanover middle of the line to go and get the early lead. Back on the inside to Voronoff and looking to stride forward. Elizabeth Hill and Pretty in Pink is also charging off. Then She's Gold, who's looking to find a position just in behind runners here. Followed then by Son of Patrick, and back on the inside then to Sans Au Revoir. Back in the field and buried on the inside then was Huey Wallace as they turn up into the back straight, and the last pair being Trippy Tyron, and back there too now as they trot through the back. Busy Canoodling, 1,700 metres left to go, and taking up the running here is Pretty in Pink and Giampaolo Minucci for Italy. So get down to the 1,600 metres and lead up time here in 43.1. Kiwi Blair Orange with a nice run in the trail with Eagle Hanover. Up on the outside sitting third and parked here Brett Beckwith for the USA with Elizabeth Hill. 3 back on the inside then to Germany's Michael Nimchek with the Voronoff, and getting the beautiful 1-1 here is the Netherlands driver and Jaap van Rijn, and he's aboard She's Gold. 4 back is Sans Au Revoir and James McDonald. It's been his night tonight thus far with 2 winners already. The Canadian driver to its outside then to Son of Patrick and Sweden's Mats Deuce. Well back in the field Huey Wallace with Gary Hall Jr. with the markers hugging run, and back towards the tail then we have Trippy Tyron for France's Pierre Cruz, and back last there as they come on through now with 1,000 metres left to go. Busy Canoodling and Finland's Santu Ritala. The opening quarter was in 32.2 as they're on the homeward lap, 900 left to go, and the leader is Pretty in Pink, looking to remain unbeaten here at the raceway. Eagle Hanover on the inside. Up on the outside Elizabeth Hill, She's Gold, beautifully positioned 1-1. Back on the inside to Voronoff the second quarter in 30.7. Tracking up the 1-1 was Son of Patrick. Back and buried on the inside Sans Au Revoir as She's Gold goes. Sans Au Revoir got away from the pegs. Back and buried on the inside to Huey Wallace, Trippy Tyron, and Busy Canoodling the last as they get to the end of the back straight here. And the leader Pretty in Pink up on the outside, coming after it strongly. She's Gold as they get around to the final 400 metres. Eagle Hanover waiting the TFS Horse Transport passing lane. Son of Patrick trotting into the race strongly. Just weakening there with Brett Beckwith was Elizabeth Hill as they come onto the turn, and back on the inside then to Voronoff as they turn for home, and She's Gold goes for home for the Netherlands. Leads away by 2. Pretty in Pink. Out is Eagle Hanover. Down the outside is Son of Patrick, and right down the outside now is Sans Au Revoir, and James McDonald is flooding home down the outside. It's a great go. She's Gold 4 across the track. Who gets it? I say Son of Patrick and Mats Deuce. Mats Deuce might have got both trots on the program here tonight. From flashing home Sans Au Revoir, She's Gold was there, and Eagle Hanover in a great 4-way tussle. But I think you'll find that coming out on top will be Sweden. Further back in the field there we had Voronoff. They were followed then by Huey Wallace. Well back in the field we had Busy Canoodling on the run on. Further back in the field then to Elizabeth Hill. Well back then to Pretty in Pink punctured, and back towards the tail was there Trippy Tyron. It's a 4-way go, but it'll be the 2 that'll get the prize.
For the last of our races here at Cambridge, back with you, Aaron White.
The Thames Harness Racing Club, WDC 25 Heat 10. Will bring us to halfway of the World Drivers' Championship. 2 1/4 laps, green light, racing. Commander Lincoln off the inside, I Can Too, make positive beginnings from the Deep Sea of Love, and also Conrad H has been lit up from the outside as well. So I Can Too and Jaap van Rijn to the early lead. From up on the outside, Sea of Love and Michael Nimchek. Back on the inside to ease and get the trail here was Commander Lincoln and James McDonald. Caught out 3 wide. Conrad H and Giampaolo Minucci. Then in the centre was Melton Mogul for Blair Orange. Back on the inside then 2 Messenger Boys ended up 3 back on the pegs as they turn up into the back back straight. Mid-through Luca, that's back fourth last to its inside as they pace through. The back straight was Benson Dude, and the last couple been I'm Not the Maid there for Gary Hall Jr. And back at the tail was Maria Kirilenko and Brett Beckwith. The lead-up time in 41.1 as they get to the end of the back straight. And taking it up from the outside draw, Conrad H has now made it to the top. Over I Can Too, up on the outside, sitting out parked here was Sea of Love. And in the 1-1 then to Melkin Mogul for our Kiwi driver, Blair Orange. He's looking to get maximum points here in the last of our heats out of the Waikato. Commander Lincoln, 3 back on the inside. Matt's Juice on the outside with Midfru Luca. He's had a great night at the office. Back on the inside, Messenger Boy for Santu Ritala from Finland. 31-1 was the opening quarter. And the last trio, they comprise here of I'm Not the Maid on the outside of Benson Dude and Pierre Vacruz for France. And to its outside then to Maria Kirilenko. They're on the homeward lap here. Thames Harness Racing Club, WDC 25, Heat 10. And it is Giampaolo Minucci, the Italian, with Conrad H. out to the final 800 metres. And the second quarter being posted in 32.1. Up on the outside, Sea of Love. Back on the inside, I Can Too's enjoyed a lovely run here for the Netherlands driver, Jaap van Rijn. Up on the outside then in the 1-1 is our local boy, Blair Orange and Melton Mogul. Locked away, 3 back on the inside. Commander Lincoln is looking to take off. There was Midfru Luca. Further back in the field, I'm Not the Maid. Junior's looking to pick a path through runners now. Back and buried, all rest up, nowhere to go was Messenger Boy. And the last couple be Maria Kirilenko, and back with that Benson Dude. The back straight quarter in 30.5. Conrad H gobbled up by Sea of Love on the outside. Melton Mogul, the Kiwis about to strike now as they get to the top of the home straight. Sea of Love with Melton Mogul a length and a half away. Back on the inside, Conrad H. There followed then by I Can Too, Commander Lincoln, and rattling home right down the outskirts of the track here is Messenger Boy, but it's the Kiwi boy, Blair Nathan Orange. He gets a win, and it's with Melton Mogul. Second over, flashy run. Messenger Boy there for Santu Ritala. Sea of Love and Michael Nimchek looks like it'll just hold out third. From I Can Too, up there was Commander Lincoln, and out wider on the track then to I'm Not the Maid. Further back in the field then we had Benson Dude on pulling up with Midfru Luca. Puncturing was Conrad H, and back with those Maria Kirilenko.